It is the single greatest innovation of humanity ever. This is so big. It's going to break the entire economic model for good and for bad. It's going to change our understanding of how society functions, what humans do. It's going to change our understanding of what humans are and will be. This is becoming bigger and bigger and more solidified. And the more we go into AI, the more we'll see that. We're going into a world that is incomprehensible.
AI is about to change everything. It will redefine industries, change the way we work, and challenge our understanding of what is possible. It will disrupt every corner of human existence. The rapid advancements we're witnessing in AI today are just the beginning of something much bigger, something that will leave no part of our world untouched. This is all according to Real Vision CEO Raoul. According to him, we have only a matter of years before these disruptions are fully realized, and those who fail to understand or adapt to these changes could find themselves left behind. In Pal's eyes, AI is not just a tool. It's the catalyst for the next evolution of our civilization. Now, let's hear from Raoul as he reveals just how quickly AI could transform everything as we know it. Give this video a like to show your support, subscribe for your daily dose of crypto news, and let's begin. Before we continue with the rest of the video, do check out daily 5-minute crypto newsletter with all the latest crypto and Bitcoin news. It's a fantastic analysis of on-chain crypto data and breakdowns, and the best part is it's absolutely free. They'll cover expert predictions, breakdowns of on-chain crypto data, and any breaking news you need to know, all in a nutshell. Click the first link in the description and enter your email to join over 50,000 others in becoming a better crypto investor right now.
We are going towards two different species. We will have people who will utterly reject this, and we'll have other people who will be embedding Neuralinks into their brains and using every part of this to enhance themselves, wearing the goggles so they get the information. Well, as soon as you embed it into your brains, you've now merged with the machines entirely, and you are now a super creature. And I know this sounds like science fiction, but this is happening faster than anybody can imagine. It's happening so fast, and the faster AI becomes powerful is the more it's used to create AI, which creates more AI. It solves its own problems. Right? We're not prepared for a super being that solves its own energy problems, compute problems, and how to improve its model at an exponential rate. If you look at the speed of innovation coming out of OpenAI and that whole space, Perplexity, everybody, it's ludicrous. Every 3 months, everything changes. Completely changes. Whether it's video models or whether it's spoken models or whether it's the models themselves and what they do, I mean, they're nuking every startup that tries to build a business. No company, you're a big giant pharmaceutical company and you're trying to use AI. You can't plant a flag because you can't see past 6 months. I mean, we're going into a world that is incomprehensible. The next time you're going around London or any city, look out the window, it's all the time, is go around and say what job is going to be replaced by a robot or the AI. I was in Manhattan and I just looked out, I was in an Uber and looked around and I was like, holy shit, every car here is a professional driver. So it's all Uber drivers, limo drivers, yellow cab drivers, delivery drivers, truck drivers, all gone. And this stacks up in pretty much everything you do. And that's how disruptive it is. And when the things that created value, the services economy and the manufacturing economy, don't need humans. Okay, what does that mean? Amazon already employs more robots than humans. Now the robots work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, never take a break, never complain, never ask for a pay rise. In fact, they get cheaper every year. Who's not going to do that? If something is so clearly going to be your demise, not demise as in you're going to die, but your current way of doing things is going to be forced to change. Well, you can either fight it, as you say, be indifferent to it, or you can other world.
How does one invest in AI?
So here's the problem with the financial system. The average person watching this has no chance of making the money. They'll make normal returns, not supernormal returns. So Microsoft is whatever it is, $2-3 trillion company. What could it be worth? Who knows? 10 trillion, 15 trillion, doesn't really matter, right? That's a 5x. What, for the most revolutionary technology the world has ever seen, you make 5 times your money? That's not, but somebody else in VC or earlier, in some way, shape or form, or the entrepreneur will make all of the money. And this is the thing I don't like about the system as it is. It's kind of rigged against the ordinary person. So we're going to have your jobs replaced, you're going to have this societal change, and yet they don't get a chance. So yes, invest in technology. Don't own any other stocks. Own technology. And you will capture some of this. You're investing in your own demise. At least you'll get some high quality returns. But otherwise, the only way I can come up with, again, and we keep referring to it, is crypto.
Recently, the United Nations Environment Program raised concerns about the impact of AI on the environment. While AI could help with environmental problems like tracking pollution and emissions, it also comes with some serious environmental costs. The data centers that run AI systems need a lot of water, and they use rare minerals that are often mined in harmful ways. On top of that, the data centers produce a lot of electronic waste. They also require huge amounts of electricity, which often comes from burning fossil fuels, contributing to climate change. To fix this, UNEP suggests 5 things we can do. First, we need to measure the environmental impact of AI to understand how much harm it causes. Second, AI systems should be made more energy efficient so they don't use so much power. Third, data centers should be powered by renewable energy like solar or wind, instead of fossil fuels. Fourth, companies should be required to report how their AI systems affect the environment, so we can hold them accountable. Lastly, we need to include AI in environmental laws to make sure it doesn't cause more harm to the planet. Some countries have started to address these problems, but more work needs to be done. If we don't take action, AI could end up doing more harm than good. Do you agree with the UNEP's report? Let us know in the comments. Now, let's turn back to Raoul Pell as he offers his expert advice on how to capitalize on this booming AI era.
At least for the time being, and we'll talk about how the world may change in the future, but for the time being, if you're an expert in whatever it may be, whether it's driving a taxi or whether it's a computer scientist, doesn't matter, be an expert. Compete with yourself day and night to be the best that you can. So at least it's going to give you the chance to earn some money.
How does one become an expert?
This to me there's a trick that I learned, and it's called manifesting your own destiny. And what you do is what I've always done my whole life is I envisage myself 5 or 10 years in the future. What do I want to be? And you look around you and say, okay, what are the things that I want to have, that future vision of myself, as opposed to the 30, 40-year path? It's too difficult. Give it 5 years. Where do I want to be in 5 years? Okay, and you look around that future world and you think, okay, well, how would I got here? You know, if I've built a business cleaning windows and I've got 20 people working for me, well, how did I get there? Well, I would have had to have figured out, okay, how do I make this scale? How do I employ people? How do I train them to have the right standards? All of that. You ask yourself your question of what that success looks like, and you kind of deconstruct it and go back and make it happen. It can be anything where you can glean knowledge to give yourself an unfair advantage. Now, on podcasts, it always makes it like easy. Everyone becomes an entrepreneur, and before you know it, everybody's rich. It doesn't work that way. But all I'm trying to do is stack the odds in your favor of getting closer to that image of your future self. And you can reverse engineer it. When you become an expert, or when you become good at something, if you're careful in your expenditure, you will produce excess income, right? Because people are going to pay you for your expertise. So if you manage yourself carefully in those first few years, that excess cash, you can then choose what to do with it. Now, maybe you want to build the real business that you wanted to build in the first place, the crazy idea you've had. And if you're in your 20s, you can take the risk and blow your savings on that crazy idea because you've actually learned how to build a business already by building the one that you started. Or you start investing. Now, the world of investments was this world of weird financial advisors. And they would tell you some things like, well, you do this, and then you're a 25-year-old. In 45 years' time, you'll get some money. I mean, fuck that. I mean, what am I going to get out of it? When I'm 65 years old, I suddenly get a lump sum that I've spent my whole life saving for. I don't feel it. I've got no emotional attachment to my pension plan. And I've got real world problems to solve. I can't buy a house. I can't get married. I can't have kids. So I need to solve these in a shorter time period than my pension. My pension was suitable for a different generation that just needed enough after they stopped working. So I got to solve that. And the answer is investing. Then most people roll their eyes and go, oh, really? Stocks and bonds? It's boring. Yeah, but the world has changed. The world has changed in many, many ways, but it's offered us opportunities, whether it's investing in technology, investing in crypto, that gives us much higher returns, stupidly higher returns in shorter periods of time. Okay, that's magic. That's magic for young people. It may be too risky for their parents, but if you're young and you can take some risk, okay, here's your chance. So now you can build a business, use some excess savings, put them in investments. Now you're on the path. The game is the game. And you have to play the game. So, okay, so maybe you don't have thousands to invest. I've seen many, many people in markets like crypto go from $500 to $500,000. Now, there's a lot of people who don't either. But all I'm saying is the opportunity is there. You don't need to bet your house. You don't need to have huge savings. You just need to focus on what you're doing, understand how to manage risks a bit, and how to look for opportunities. And it's the self-teaching is, how do I become that guy who's got a $500,000 portfolio, considering I've only got $500 today or $1,000 today?
Is that possible still?
Yeah, very much.
Haven't I missed the boat?
No. It's happening again right now in meme coins. This is fascinating. People watching this will go, oh, what a bunch of nonsense. These are coins, tokens, and we'll talk about blockchain and this later, but these are investments based on a meme.
A joke.
A joke. Something that grabs attention on the internet. And you can bet on those. Well, what is that? That's about betting on attention itself. If you think about a business like Facebook or Google or any of these, Twitter, they're all based on attention. And now we can bet on attention. Do people find that funny? Are they going to find it funny in 6 months' time or 6 weeks' time? And we can bet on this stuff. Okay, this is the super speculative end, but it's also very cultural. It's not about investment bankers. It's not about gatekeepers. It's about you pitting yourself thinking, is this going to catch on viral? And if it is it going to grow bigger? Now, some of those might do 1,000x in 6 months. Now, 99% go to zero. But all I'm saying is returns are there. And then you've got different levels of return. If we look at Bitcoin, well, actually, let's compare it. The S&P 500, and this will be an important number later.
What's the S&P 500?
That's the US stock market. It's the broadest measure of the stock market. And you can buy shares in it. Now, that grows at about 10% a year, 11% a year. So let's imagine you've got your $1,000. Well, 11% a year, it's going to take you a fucking long time to make any money, right? So it is not worth your time. The financial advisors will say, yes, you must do this, start now. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's just not going to change your life. Okay, then we go to technology stocks. NASDAQ does about 18% a year. Okay, that's starting to add up because these numbers compound after a while. You know, it goes from 1,000 to 1,200, and then, you know, it's another 20% on top of that, 20%. These numbers add up fast. Bitcoin, since 2011, been 145% a year, even with it falling 80% 3 times in the middle of that. So 145% a year, as long as you're in it long enough, okay, now that's really starting to pay off. And then as you get slightly more speculative, I take a bit more risk in things, well, the returns go up, but they become riskier. So once you start moving into that world, okay, this is a whole different world now. Now the guy with $1,000 can get.
All of that being said, Raoul Pal's main advice is simple. Always try to be your best. Compete with yourself every day, keep improving, and be ready to take advantage of any opportunity that comes your way. Pal also points out that if you're young, you have a big advantage. While saving for retirement might feel far off, today's world of investing can help you build wealth faster. With the right attitude and some smart risks, even small investments can grow big. In the end, it's all about setting yourself up for success. By managing risks, staying focused on your long-term goals, and being active about your investments, you can take advantage of the wealth-building opportunities out there. You just have to go for it. What's your strategy for building wealth in this new era? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. Thank you for sticking with us until the end of the video. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this discussion, and subscribe for more valuable discussions on building true independence through crypto. See you next time. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.